Hi lovies, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here and I'm so glad you clicked on today's video. I thought for today we would spend a cozy little bookish day together, but with a twist. I'm actually going to be letting you guys control my entire cozy bookish day. I'm holding a ton of polls over on Instagram, so if you don't follow me over there, definitely check it out and follow me if you want to take part in future polls and just like other little bookish things. I post a lot on Instagram, honestly. I'm kind of annoying, but I'm doing a ton of fun little polls over there today, and I'm letting you guys literally control every aspect of my day. I am so excited because I've never done this type of video before, but I've seen so many other people do it, and it just looks really fun and different, and I feel like I need a cozy bookish day like this, and I don't feel like making decisions for myself, clearly, so I'm letting you guys do it for me. It's like the most beautiful day out today as well, so I'm hoping we can do some outside reading at some point, whether it be on the patio, at the pool, at the beach, something along those lines. We'll get there when we get there. I feel like I'm getting a little ahead of myself, honestly, but we are gonna hop right into the video. We're gonna start with making some breakfast. I already have a few polls kind of going on my Instagram to give you guys time to see them and vote on them, but we're gonna make some yummy breakfast, touching up my makeup for the day, and starting off with our first poll, which is if I should make a coffee or a matcha. Very, very nervous for this one because I have been obsessed with matcha lately. It's been like my favorite thing to drink every morning, and I literally go to bed looking forward to waking up and making this matcha. I truly feel like I've mastered my matcha recipe, so fingers crossed you guys like matcha and you vote matcha, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm kind of like the barista of the household, and I usually make Chris a coffee in the morning as well, so depending on what you guys vote on, I'll either have a coffee or a matcha, and Chris will have like the other one. The next thing I had you guys choose for me is what I was going to wear for the day, and it was between two of my Ray of Happiness crew necks, but you guys only saw a blue heart and a brown heart, so it's very kind of mysterious. I'm sure some of you were like, what are we voting on here? Nonetheless, a lot of you were 50-50 for the longest time. It was just not budging from the 50% mark, and it finally budged, guys. You finally chose. You guys chose the brown heart, so I'm wearing our Love and Books crew neck today, and I'm so happy that you guys chose this one because I haven't worn it in like the longest time. I usually always wear my blue Hot Girls Read crew neck. I wear this one all the time. It's just one of my favorites, and I was kind of happy that you guys picked brown because I haven't worn this one in a super long time. If you didn't know, I actually have my own little clothing brand called Raye of Happiness. She is 2 years old, maybe almost 3 years old, which is so crazy to be saying because it feels like yesterday that Chris and I launched her into the world. It's a whole bunch of bookish merch, but also like just cozy hobby merch. It's been so much fun creating things like this and putting out into the world, then seeing you guys love it and wear it too. A lot of you have been asking me about what's next for Ray of Happiness because we haven't done too much yet this year, just with like moving and all the craziness that's kind of happened, but we have been working on a few really fun and cute designs, hopefully for like summertime and fall time. I'm thinking I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek week of them today, and I just wanted to say a quick thank you to the sponsor of today's video, which is Printful. Since starting Raye of Happiness, life has just been so much fun and truly a dream come true. We've been able to kind of ditch that typical 9-to-5 job and really work on just creating fun clothes for everybody. Printful takes care of printing, shipping, and even warehousing, so we get to focus on the fun parts like designing, marketing, and cashing in. Their print-on-demand model means zero upfront cost as well, which is so nice because you can start selling without even spending a dime. This is so awesome for people out there who have a dream of starting up their own business, but they're kind of scared of that financial risk. This is a little sneak peek of a design I've been working on recently. I'm going for a very colorful, summery, happy aesthetic for it. We create all of our designs between Procreate and Canva, and then it's so easy to go onto Printful, pick out the clothing piece you'd like, and plop your design right on there. They also offer so many membership perks, which we definitely take advantage of, including their sweet 20% off DTG printing. That has been such a game changer for Raye of Happiness, and I just am so thankful that Printful offers that to small businesses. We've used Printful to do so many different designs on Raye of Happiness, and every time we get our pieces in the mail from them, always so surprised and over the moon with how amazing the quality is. If you have a dream of starting up your own small business, but you've always been kind of scared of that financial risk, don't be, because Printful literally has your back. I'll have a link in my description box to check out Printful and check out the community that they have created. It's a great place to learn, get tips, connect with other entrepreneurs, and really just dive into the catalog of so many amazing products that Printful offers. Literally could not recommend them enough. The next things I had you guys choose for me for today is what book I'm going to be reading and how I'm going to be reading it. I'm actually in the market for a new read because I just finished up Wild Side by Elsie Silver. If you guys want to see my full opinion and shocking rating on that one, go check out my last reading vlog, because I'm still just as surprised as many of you are that I had the opinions that I did on that book. But anyways, I'm in the market for a new read, so I thought it'd be really fun to let you guys pick out what we are going to start today and how we are going to start it. So the first poll I had you guys vote on is if I should read an ebook or if I should read a physical book. I also just wanted to show you guys my Kindle really quick because I updated the pop socket on it and I'm obsessed with it. It says "Will Yap About Books." I think this is just so funny and cute, and I had to share it with you guys. I haven't updated my stickers in a hot minute. I kind of like where they're at. Anyways, we held the poll, e-reader or physical book. Many of you chose physical book, which honestly I'm not very surprised. I feel like most people prefer physical books over reading like an ebook, which I totally get, because for the longest time I was strictly only a physical book girly. I couldn't get into ebooks for some reason. There's just something a lot more satisfying, calming, and just nice about flipping a real page of a book, the smell of books, annotating in books, compared to just tapping your finger on a screen. But I did become a Kindle girly about a year or two ago, and I absolutely love this thing. I've read so many good books on it, and when it comes to traveling, you really can't go wrong with having a Kindle. So many of you did choose a physical book, which I was not upset about because I have so many books on my physical TBR. It's not even funny. I then gave you guys the option between two books that I have just been eyeing up. I definitely want to start one of these next. They're both fantasy books, and they're both books that I feel like I haven't really heard a lot about. I haven't seen other people review them or really talk about them, so I thought they'd be something really fun to jump into because they're totally new to me. Overall, very excited about whichever book gets chosen. The first one we have is Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher. I am obsessed with this cover. It's definitely the reason I was so drawn to it. I love how colorful it is. This is like a mystery slash romantasy, I believe, and our FMC in this basically inherits a ton of money, a huge estate, and all this wealth. Unfortunately though, we have kind of like an inheritance game situation where family members, friends, and other people around her are trying to steal the fortune and the estate from her, and she's kind of like what am I supposed to do? She comes across a very interesting sword, and when she takes the sword out of its case, a man appears in front of her, and he basically is this magical man, I guess. He's a soldier. Basically, whoever holds possession of this sword is granted his protection. So he is now tasked with protecting our FMC from all the vultures who are trying to steal the fortune from her. When I was reading this in the bookstore, it sounded so funny and good to me. It sounds like we're gonna get a really interesting romantic-y aspect in here, and I also like that it kind of reminded me of the Inheritance games because I used to love that series. Kind of getting a good mix of a lot of things I enjoy reading about. And then the second one I put up is The Revenant Games by Margie Fuston. This is a book I picked up at the same time as Sword Heart, and this one is giving off hardcore Hunger Game vibes / Twilight vibes. We have vampires and witches in this book, and then we have humans who are basically living in the middle of their lands. Every year the vampires and witches hold this big event called the Revenant Games, which to me sounds very similar to the Hunger Games, and basically humans get to compete in the Revenant Games. They have to choose between being on the vampire side or the witches side, and whoever wins gets a reward from the side they chose. One side basically grants immortality, and then the other side grants like a life being brought back. So our FMC in this book is competing in the Revenant Games to bring back a loved one. She's also competing alongside her best friend, and he's trying to win immortality because he's very sick. So they're kind of hoping they can trick the system, play the system. I'm very nervous for them already because I feel like these witches and vampires are going to be vicious, but I'm really excited to see what happens in it and happens between our two characters. I think there is a romance in here, but not between who you would think it would be between. I'm pretty sure our FMC in this story actually falls for one of the vampires or witches, which is very intriguing to me because they're kind of marked as like the bad guys in this. When choosing between these two books though, a lot of you actually chose Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher, and I'm not mad about it. I honestly was rooting for both of these books, so I wouldn't have been mad even if we got the Revenant Games. Looks like we are starting Sword Heart today, and I feel like it's gonna be so much fun. And then one more poll I held for you guys is what bookmark should I choose for my next read, and everyone actually chose this photo strip of Chris and I, which makes me happy. I always use this one because it's one of my favorites of us, but it's also just like one of my favorite memories of us as well. I literally remember this night to a T, and it makes me so happy anytime I look at it. I usually pick this one to use as my bookmark, and the fact that you guys also liked it and chose it makes my heart so happy. We have our book and we have our bookmark, so let's keep going with our bookish day. So the next thing I had you guys control for me is where we were actually going to read today, and it was between going to a bookstore or going to a coffee shop. I honestly love doing both. I feel like coffee shops are really cozy, but there is just something that's the best about going to your favorite bookstore, getting cozy with a book, and just reading for a couple hours. So I asked you guys on Instagram to choose between a bookstore or a coffee shop, and 88% of you chose the bookstore. Are we surprised? I'm not really surprised. I feel like when I was putting the poll up, I knew immediately that we were going to end up at Barnes & Noble today. Back home, we'd always switch between going to Barnes & Noble and like indie bookstores, but this Barnes & Noble near us now is probably like my favorite Barnes I've ever been to. It is so cozy and cute. It's also like very organized, which when I go to Barnes & Noble, I'm used to them being kind of a mess, but this Barnes & Noble is just the coziest and has the best vibes. So we are going to head in, find a good spot, and cozy up with Sword Heart. I did also put up a very random poll where many of you were probably like, I wonder what this one could be for. I put this poll up and I said to pick a number, 1, 5, 10, or 15, and basically you guys are deciding how many chapters of Sword Heart we're gonna read today. 55% of you chose 10, so we're gonna read 10 chapters of Sword Heart today. When I first put the poll up, I'm not gonna lie, so many people chose 1. I was very nervous because I was like, I can't just read 1 chapter. I feel like we're not gonna learn enough about the book to really talk about it. So I'm really happy that a lot of you went in the middle, you did a happy medium, and a lot of you chose 10. So that's the plan. We're gonna head into Barnes, we're gonna find a good spot to read, and probably get a muffin or something. I'm kind of hungry, to be honest. I'm also kind of thirsty. Of course, we're gonna do a good dilly-dally around the bookstore. I don't think I'm gonna buy anything today just because I don't really have anything new on my radar. We're gonna head in though and find a good spot. Okay friends, it's obviously a little bit later. We had quite the day together. Honestly, it was the perfect day in my opinion. We had a cozy little reading day together, and after we were at Barnes, we came home. We went to the pool for a little bit just to get some more sun, some more vitamin D, because I could definitely use it. So we did that, and I officially made it to chapter 10 of Sword Heart. I have to say, this is very different from what I thought it was going to be, but in a good way. I mean that in the best way possible. I thought the way that this was going to start out, especially very different expectations for the beginning of this story, but at the same time I'm not disappointed with how it's going so far. I think the first couple chapters was just totally shocking to me. It's truly nothing like I thought it would be, but in a good way. I'm really enjoying this so far. I didn't know going into this book that it was going to take place in like the 1300s, so we're in a medieval time period. I'm loving it. I think it is so fun and different. I don't read a lot of medieval time period pieces, so this is already like so cool and different for me. With that being said though, the writing style is just a little bit different from what I'm used to reading, and that's mainly because the author really embraces the medieval time period in this, and our main characters are mainly talking in Old English, which is something I honestly haven't read since I was in college studying English. Very different from my typical reads, but I'm still really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the medieval vibes. Reading something that takes place in the 1300s is so interesting and so bizarre, and the way that the story starts off with our FMC Hala, her whole living situation is quite scary because she basically has inherited this fortune, this estate, and her family is immediately trying to like steal it from her. So there's already a lot of drama and crazy things kind of happening in the beginning, and her family is just very vicious. Say her family with the quotation marks because they're technically her husband's family. Well, her late husband's. She's a widow, which I also wasn't expecting. But anyways, her so-called family just seems absolutely awful right from the beginning, like locking her in the attic type of awful to steal her fortune. And they're all just super mad and jealous. They don't know why she would get left the fortune out of everyone else. And that aspect of the story definitely feels very similar to the inheritance games, which I'm really enjoying. We made it to chapter 10 and things are already crazy and out of hand, so I can't imagine how the rest of this story is gonna go. Ella also discovers this mysterious sword on the estate property, and when she takes the sword out of its casing, this magical man slash warrior appears in front of her. Basically takes an oath to protect her at all costs. So now he is like protecting our FMC from her vicious family that's trying to trap her in this horrible situation. The author adds a lot of humor into it, which I wasn't expecting at all. So there's just a bunch of funny moments and jokes kind of cracked throughout it, but not in like an intentional way. I feel like a lot of the time our FMC is talking to herself or thinking to herself, and she is just saying the most unhinged, funniest things. And then when we add in this warrior who magically appeared from this sword, I feel like things just get more funny because the two of them together are absolutely hilarious. I'm very excited to continue on in it. I think I'm actually going to pick it up in another reading vlog that I'm about to start soon, so definitely stay tuned for that to kind of see more reactions in my review of it. With all that being said though, that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. I feel like this was very fun and different for us to do. I've never done this video before on my channel, so I'm happy I was able to do it with you guys. For those of you who took part in it, thank you so very much, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any fun video requests, reading vlog challenges, stuff like that, leave them down below for me in the comment section. I want to make more fun videos for you guys, but I don't want to keep repeating my normal reading vlog challenges. So if you guys have any specific reading vlog type of videos or any videos in general that you want to see from me, definitely let me know down below. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.